promised you all that when we had an update for Tiffany Gomas, we were going to send it out to you folks. Our last video did very well, almost 10K views, and here it is. Tiffany Gomas is out doing some PR, is what we'll call it. Legitimately, she's actually doing some podcasts. She was just on Pardon My Take and Murdaugh. And I wanted to share a few clips of what she says happened on the day that she boarded the plane and her video went viral. 450 million people saw her have a meltdown on this plane. So that being said, instead of showing that video, I want to start off with what her explanation is. And what I did was I split these clips up into two pieces. If you want to catch the entire interview, go to Pardon My Take. I will include that down in the description so you can see the entire interview with her. And then she does have also the podcast on Murdaugh, which explains a little bit more. I didn't include any of that footage. I just wanted to give you a little bit of what she talks about, what happened on that day, and we're going to break that down a little bit. So let's watch that clip right now.
No, I'm kidding.
No, we can get to that. All right. So how crazy has your life been in the last few months? Because I would imagine the internet's a weird place. You go viral. And you're like, holy shit, all these people watch this video. This is insane.
Oh, man. Yeah, it was. It's been very wild. I don't even know how to explain it, honestly. There's no playbook to going viral, right?
No.
Yeah.
I'm just a normal person, is contrary to what people think.
Mm-hmm.
Promise you I'm a pretty normal person. And after this all went viral, yeah, my life did change. I chilled for a little bit. And people didn't think that because TMZ and all the things, but no, I did. I didn't come out of my house for over 4 weeks.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Literally blinds down everything.
Oh, okay. Can I ask again what you saw?
Yeah. The reason why I probably haven't come out yet, because it's so cringe. I did not see anything.
What?
I mean, I think y'all knew that.
Okay.
We honestly had no idea.
Yeah.
You said you did.
No, I did not. The
Those
media.
motherfuckers.
You said this motherfucker's not real.
I said that motherfucker
is not real.
These or
okay.
Apologies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I got in a bit of an altercation. It spiraled out of control. It was not my best moment. I mean, it was actually a horrible moment. It's absolutely mortifying. So
Everyone
mortifying.
has bad moments on planes.
Yeah, but mine, 450 million plus people have seen it.
Yep.
It's
that many?
pretty.
Jesus.
That's a lot of people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Thank God people don't think it's me though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that. I'm
We-
cool with that. I'm happy if they don't think it's me.
Okay, so now that you've seen that clip, there's a couple of things that I want to pull apart. So first and foremost, she admits that she was having a bad day. She also said that she never saw anything. And if you see what she says right after that, she says, I think you guys already knew that. Now, she says that the line that she used was a figure of speech, which ultimately when you see on the plane, it does seem like a figure of speech, right? There is a couple of things that I have to ask here, though. If we watch this other clip that I'm going to cue up for you in just a moment, she does say that the plane is not going to make it to its destination. So that leads me to believe that there's more to this story than what she is leading on. Now, a lot of people in my comments on the very first video said that, yes, it sounded like she was arguing with somebody, and you even see the clip in my video that shows that she was having a disagreement with somebody. But what you don't see is who is she having a disagreement with and what is that disagreement over. And now she doesn't explain that on Pardon My Take as well. She's just very general with the information, but she does talk about being batshit crazy and how the media made her look that way. So she's staying away from the thing that she saw or didn't see, quote unquote, and she is doubling down that she made that as an expression of speech. Now, I can believe that from a standpoint that there are a lot of expressions that people use that may not seem real. And in this case, that could possibly be what happened here. The only thing is when I cue up this clip, you're going to see her talk about that plane not making its destination. And she is very adamant about that. So let's watch that clip now.
The cuz holders.
I don't care if I'm ever fly with y'all ever again. I want to know what happens to this flight right here.
They're gonna escort you out, so just let me hear
Great.
phone with us anymore.
Great. I don't ever want to fly with you ever again.
All right, ma'am. Ma'am,
escorting me out, and I'll never fly with him again.
ma'am, since you no longer have a valid ticket or business on this side of the airport, we gotta escort you out to the public side, okay?
Where's your suitcase?
You ready?
It's on that flight.
If you don't leave, you'll be under arrest for criminal trespass. This is your warning right here.
Okay. Just what? What?
You're leaving, right?
Am I leaving? What are you talking about?
Ma'am, if you don't leave right now, you could be under arrest for criminal trespass. Let's go.
Let that flight leave. Do not let that flight leave. Being dead serious. Do not let that flight leave.
You ready? Let's go. Come on.
You heard me say that. Like, do not let that flight leave. That flight's not gonna make it to Orlando.
Let's
It's
go.
not going to.
So based on that clip, that just tells me that there's something that she's either not sharing or that she is just trying to steer clear of because she's worried about how she looks. Now, look, she admits to having a bad day. She even talks about in the interview about how her voice gets really high pitch and that it's not her everyday voice, and she was just not very happy with how she presented herself. There is a couple of things, though, that she does talk about that she seems to be very familiar with. Now, this could be because she owns her own marketing firm, but she talks about knowing that that video was going to go viral based on the way that she had behaved, and she just wasn't sure how viral it was going to be. She also talks about locking herself in her house for 4 weeks before seeing anybody. Now, she did go on that cruise shortly after with her family, and it's kind of interesting because in the interview, you do see her talk about she had to wear the same clothes the next day, and she was worried about going viral. But at that point, it hadn't gone viral to the point where it's at today. So those are some things that I find very interesting about this. In my original take, I thought that this was a total PR stunt, and it felt like it was very forced. But watching the video over and over, and quite honestly, the comments that came in, it gave me a different perspective when I watched that video. And I've probably watched the video 250 times. And I do believe that the emotions just kind of, got the better of her that day. The questions that I still have that remain is the people that were in the seats next to her, right? Because she talks about giving up her aisle seat and she ends up in the middle. They never come out. They never talk about it. You never hear anything about them. The only thing you really do hear is that clip that I played. You hear people talking in the background. And we don't know if those are the people that she's having arguments with or if those are the people that are just telling her to keep her mouth shut for legal purposes, right? So very interesting stuff on that take. It just, there's some things that just don't seem to be adding up. Now, I will say that her rebranding has been very smart, although she does talk a little bit in her interview about not doing it the right way. So the last few things I'm going to leave you with on the Tiffany Gomas thing is you be the judge. Do you think that what she's saying now in these podcasts are legitimate? She just had a bad day, and I know I've asked that question before. Or do you think there was a little bit more that happened to Tiffany Gomas that maybe she's just, it's a little bit unpleasant and she doesn't want to talk through it? You can see she's kind of being a little bit coy. I know on my last video, there was a lot of people that thought that she was either utilizing drugs or that she was drinking. I would agree with that. I could say maybe she was doing both. Or at the very least, she looked like she was intoxicated the way that she was coming off. But again, it could be that she was so frazzled from the confrontation that she had. So my main things, and I'll just recap them, is that one, she does say that that plane is not going to make the destination. So how do we just ignore that? I don't think that we can. Two, how come we never hear from anybody else that's on that plane really that says, hey, we've seen the altercation, especially the people that were part of that altercation? And it could possibly be that somebody just doesn't want to go viral and they don't want to talk about it. I do understand that, but there's still some explaining to do there. And then number three, how she's rebranded after this. Do we think that this is genius, or do we think that she was a spoiled little brat, as she called herself, and that she gets a pass? Because she does say in the interview that she's surprised how she did not get arrested. So these are all things I want you to think about. If you stayed with me this long, you know I'm your host, Tim Sahlberg. Hit that subscribe button down below. Hit that like. Let's get this video out. And leave me a comment. I want to hear, have you changed your perspective since seeing these new clips and hearing what Tiffany Gomas is saying in these podcasts? Or are you staying with your original thoughts that whatever they may have been, you're going to stay with those comments and nothing has changed from your perspective? I want to hear from you. Based off of that, I hope everybody has a wonderful week. We're getting closer to Thanksgiving. I should have a video out for you next week. In the meantime, make sure you're watching my shorts daily. Have a great week. Over and out.